it's pretty noisy here, after 3 o'clock is really the best time for anybody to come to Ican. We believe that if we can get you in here between 3 and 3:30, and you see all the kids, then we've got you. Because once you see the kids and what we do, it's pretty hard to say, oh no, I don't want to go back there. So that, here comes Mr. Human, Councilman Human. Oh, Vice Mayor, isn't he? Vice Mayor? No, Councilman. No. I just promoted you to Vice Mayor, sorry. Come on in.
Sorry.
No, you're not late. You're not late. We started early. But, so, again, thank you. We've got 2 councilmen that have joined us. Thank you guys so much. Terry Rowe here in this afternoon, and so is Rick Human. So thank you guys for being here very much. The city of Chandler is certainly very supportive of us, and we really do appreciate it. We even have our banker here, the president of our bank that helps us with banking. So we've got a lot of competition in the room for you, sir. So just so you know. But we really do appreciate you being here. Can I show? I'm going to look I talked too loud, sorry. Okay. Well, so let me just say a couple things. One is we're very excited to have you here. I want to introduce Shelby Peterson. Most of you know Shelby. Shelby's the Chief Development and Strategy Officer. She's the one that brings all the money in to be able to have this beautiful building. And lots of people come and say, oh my gosh, you guys have got this great building. You don't need any money. It's like, hello, we have this big building and we have 300 kids a day. Yeah, we do need money. So, but we're really excited to talk and to have you learn more about us. But the real reason we're trying to do open houses is because there's so much going on and people are so busy and there's so many things that happen all the time that we don't really get to talk about. And so I've just got some highlights for you, some things that have just happened recently that people don't even know yet. And then if there's obviously we can answer any questions. And then if you're interested in going on a tour afterwards, Shelby and I mean, there's a lot of you here for the first time, and this is the first one we've done. So thank you for being our first group. But Shelby's here, and we can split up the group and go on a tour and really kind of get involved. And then if there's anybody that wants to stay and help volunteer, then you can certainly do that as well. So we're excited to have you here. Let me just tell you, obviously we are a youth organization. We've been around for almost 25 years. Next year it will be our 25th anniversary, which is amazing because a lot of people go, where's Ican? No, we're here. So we're very excited about that. We do family programs and we do community programs. So you might have been reading about us a lot in the Republic, the Chandler Republic lately. We've got something coming up next Thursday night at the council meeting about the social host ordinance. 2 weeks, I'm sorry, the 28th, yes. Or 27th, or 26th, something. Whatever it is.
But not next week.
2 weeks, not next week, I'm sorry. My board meeting's next week, okay? I got that, my board meeting's next week. About the social horse ordinance that our CCYSA organization that is an affiliate of Ican is working on community-wide, so we're very excited. We've got 2 councilmen here that have been very supportive of that, so we're excited about that. We've done a lot in the last couple of months about talking about different substance abuse and different things that are going on in the community that we are really here to try to help and support. A lot of our kids come from poverty, and you know that. 76% of our kids are Hispanic. Most of them come from homes with less than $15,000 a year. So when you just try to close your eyes and think about living with 4 kids in a place and you have $15,000 a year. Obviously, our entire program here, everything we do is free. So there's no charge to the kids, there's no charge to the parents, even if they come family programs, there's no charge on the community. We are very, very fortunate to be in Chandler and have a wonderful community that helps us be as successful as we've been able to be over the course of the last 25 years. So it was started by one man that you saw on the door when you walked in, and he's still around. As a matter of fact, he was here yesterday with his family from San Antonio. Henry came yesterday and came around just to see things, and he's so proud of our building that he wanted to show his family from San Antonio. So, but let me tell you some exciting things we're having. We do day-to-day business, so we take care of kids, we help them try to learn more. Hi, great guys, come on in. We try to help them learn the skills necessary to be successful, because a lot of our kids don't have those role models and mentors at home. And so we really do try to fill that gap in doing that. And 2 years ago, one thing that we really worked very diligently at was partnerships. If a nonprofit thinks that they can do it all by themselves, then I really feel bad for them, because they are missing out on a great opportunity to partner with lots of organizations to get what you need to get done. As long as everybody can come in and take their own personal hat off and put the kid hat on, so you're thinking of what's best for the kid, that's really how you make a partnership work. And we've done that with Chandler Unified School District. CUSD is wonderful to us. They think outside the box, so do we. We've got a great superintendent. Of course, you all know it's an award-winning organization. And 2 years ago, we started a partnership with them. Come on, yeah, have a seat. We started a partnership with them to start a high school here in our building. So we have Hill Academy at Ican. Hi. We started with 4 kids, 4 students, and we now have 61 students. We will have 8 graduate next week, so we're pretty excited about that. So, and also one of those graduates, on May 21st, I think is when it is, at the Center for the Arts, and one of those graduates received the CUSD Superintendent, I'm going to read this, of Citizenship Award. So let me just tell you, she's an amazing young woman. I have met her, who is a homeowner. She's married with twin 4-year-olds, one of which is severely disabled, and she'll be graduating on her 21st birthday. Now, when you stop and think about all those obstacles in her way, and someone reached out to her about coming here to ICANN, and she came and sat down and talked with them, and obviously could not go to a traditional school, lots of things pulling at her. And so we were able to sit down with her and look at her schedule and develop a plan for her. So she actually literally is graduating, and she got the Citizenship Award for the school district. So we're very, very proud of that. So that's just a sample of some of the children and the youth that we're helping. But currently we have 61 or 60 students enrolled. And by fall of 2015, we hope to have about 100. When you start with 5, 2 years ago, and then you have 60, and then you want 100, that's obviously a lot of growth. And we are very fortunate to have the program with us, because we're not the experts in how to build a school and how to run a school, but Chandler Unified School District is. We have a building, six classrooms. They come in here from 8 to 1 every day and have their class with their high school kids, and then they leave, and we bring in our kids that we take care of after school. So if you stop and think about it, pretty cool partnership, not only from the standpoint of really taking care of those kids that can't go on to a traditional school, but also for us, it's a smart business decision on behalf of a nonprofit to really look at how are we utilizing our building, what's the best thing, and it's very mission driven. In every one of our rooms, you'll see our mission statement up there, and it is up there, and we look at it all the time to make sure that we are providing the comprehensive programs. And in order to do that, there was a niche that we needed, and that was to help some high school kids, but we are not the experts. So we partnered with the experts to get that done. So we're very, very excited about that. We are starting a brand new ICANN monthly giving program. A lot of nonprofits, a lot of people are scared of nonprofits, let me just say that, as a banker for 30 years. A lot of people are afraid that if you get a call from Becky or Shelby that we want money all the time and we want large sums of money. Well, we'd love that, but that's certainly not why we call you sometimes. We call you to thank you for volunteering or thanking you for being here. But one of the things that we've been told by a lot of people, maybe some of you in this room, is that you really don't have a monthly giving program. You know, I mean, like, I don't want to compare us to Massage Envy, but I have a Massage Envy monthly giving program, and it really gives great to me. But but we are starting a monthly giving program for ICANN, and we're very excited about that. Shelby's designed it, we're ready, we've sent some information out we're doing a test group to see, and it really came from our board and our volunteers to say, hey, why don't you try to figure out, because let's say if you wanted to give $1,200, writing a check for $1,200 is scary, or you want to give $1,000. Writing a check for $1,000 is scary, but $83.33?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's maybe not as scary as some people might think if you do it on a monthly basis. So that's really what we're working towards, and that's something that's new and exciting that's coming down the pipe. The other thing that we're really excited about is I told you all about the high school. We kind of have had, and I think all of you probably have had the same philosophy, that we have a tendency to think that when our kids are 18 and graduate from high school, yay, they're ready to get out there and accomplish the world, and that's about as far from the truth as I'm sure most of you would agree. So we've started a program called I Can Start Working. And basically what that is, we just found out last week that we found a sponsor, financial sponsor, so the compadres are underwriting this program for us. Yay! It will be a program where we will work with 7th and 8th graders on what they need to do to start thinking about graduation and work. We'll work with 9th and 10th graders. We've also got a partnership with Maricopa Community Colleges that they will come in and talk with our kids at Hill Academy, who really, if you stop and think about it, weren't in high school before, but now they're in our high school, talk to them about college. A lot of times we say college or career, and the one thing that our board and our volunteers have been really good about is telling us there's maybe something else for them, and maybe what that is a trade. And so we've got some opportunities and some partnerships that we are going to be working with the Chandler Compadres through the funding. And funding is wonderful, but funding means we're hiring an actual person that's going to be in charge of this program, which is, for those of you that know about nonprofits, is even more wonderful. So we will be doing that. It's designed to take care or work with 50 teenagers that bridges them between high school and college. So by the time they get to like junior in high school, they maybe, or a freshman in high school, they could have signed up for the I Can Start Working program, and part of that will be determined based on their grade level. Then when they get to be a junior and a senior, let's say they want, and the big example that I use is that we've got a student that really would like to be a welder. And if you pay money at the tech shop to go get your certificate to be an apprentice welder, it's $800. A lot of our kids don't have $800, but that's how much it is, 5-month program. So if you had that, and we had somebody that's willing to pay the $800, and then we had a company that's willing to hire our student part-time as an apprentice welder, starting pay on that is over $45,000 a year. So we're really looking very innovatively at the opportunity to really work with our students starting in 7th and 8th grade to get them ready, because they don't have the role models that we all have had in our lives, and to get them ready to be thinking about that. Maybe it's not college, maybe it's a trade. And if it's a trade, what is it? And how do we help them get there? We're working with the police department, we're working with the fire department as well. There's lots of opportunities. And then we've got companies that have agreed to sign on to be a mentor company to hire our students that have gone through that training part-time during the last part of their school year, and then we would keep them in the I Can Start Working program at ICANN until they're 20. So they would be able to be put at 18 to 20 mark. I mean, I don't know what's so magical about 20, but we figured if we can get them out of high school in a couple of years under their belt of really working and providing for themselves or their family, then they'll be successful going forward. So we're really excited about that. And there will be, we will have a full-time workforce development coordinator that will be managing that. And that's going to come in the fall. So we're very excited about that. As you all know, we do take care of families. We have family programs. We don't have parenting classes because we don't certainly want to insult our parents by trying to tell them how they should parent their child. But we have family programs to help them understand what they're learning when they come here. So when they come here, they sign in, they get to go back and have a snack, and they go outside and play and get rid of all the tension that they've been sitting in class all day. And then they come back in, and at some periods of time, every day we help them with their homework. So every day a child's homework gets done for them. Then they have some different evidence-based programs that help them understand how to be a good friend, how to say no to drugs, and they're all grade appropriate. So we start from the 5-year-olds, like too good for drugs, start from the 5-year-olds all the way up through 12th grade. And by doing that, we're trying to help break that cycle of poverty. But in order for us to be successful and efficient at doing that, we have to provide the family unit with exactly what's going on when your child is at ICANN. So we have family programs, and we are building those. The Strengthening Families community programs we've adjusted to allow to serve more families. We pretty much have families of ICANN. Now we've opened it up that if your child doesn't come here but you want to come to some of our family programs, that's fine. So we've opened that up. We have our parent cafes that continue to be filled. It's a Tuesday morning where parents, moms, some dads come and really just talk about their challenges that they're having. And then this quarter we gave a presentation to the Chandler Christian Community Center. That's another one of our partners. And we are now doing some programs over there that they are now coming over here to help our families with cash assistance or making more convenient and accessible for the family needs. Like if they need access, how to get onto access, if they need insurance, or if they need eye exams, where to go for that. So we've got someone from Chandler Christian Community Center coming over to help us, our families with that, which is a brand new partnership that we're very excited about as well. One of the things, if you don't know, we evaluate all of our programs with a third-party evaluator. A lot of times, if you're working on a nonprofit and you ask them, how many people do you serve, they'll say 2,000 people a year. And what do you do with those 2,000 people? A lot of nonprofits can't really tell you what they do with those 2,000 people. They can tell you how many, but not necessarily what they did with them. And nowadays, things are changing. It's more outcomes. It's more what we did. So our 300 kids that we have, we can tell you how many come 3 days a week. We can tell you how many come 4 days a week. We can tell you how many come 5 days a week. We can tell you how many programs they've gone through. The progression, we can even tell you how well they're doing in their homework if they share that information with us. So we really have outcomes, and we've done the same thing with our family program. So it's not just we're saying we're taking care of 200 families. The families are actually taking surveys with a third party that actually comes back to us and gives us the information to tell us how the families are feeling about that. So we're excited about that because it's kind of a unique situation. We've been doing it, Shelby's been here, what, 7 or 8 years? We've been doing it for many, many years, but I just think now the whole community in social service and social sector is now catching up with the fact that a lot of funders want to know what you're doing with the people, not just how many you're serving. A lot of people that give you money want to know what the effects are. And so, what the effects are. And so if you don't have that information, it's pretty hard to tell whether you're being successful or not. The last thing is just a lot of our parents, a lot of our families come because their kids love coming to ICANN. And they come because the kids want them to come, but I think they stay because they come and they realize, I mean, I've had more mothers and more fathers come up to me after a Strengthening Families program where they come one night a month and they come into the gym and we serve dinner, the family sits together, they do a project together, and then they report out together how that made them feel and what they thought about that. I've had more mothers and more fathers say to me, we actually sit down and have dinner together with our families, and a lot of us don't even do that in this room. So I think that's the part that is really rewarding for us to have our family programs, and then I also mentioned the community program. So yes, we are an after-school program. Let me just repeat that. We are an after-school program, but we are an actual community center that takes care of the youth, helps the youth, helps families, and helps our community realize that an organization like ours is beneficial to a community like Chandler, and we're very fortunate and very grateful to be supported as well as we are in the community. So I thank you guys so much for being here. I'd be happy to answer any questions. You've been seeing, we had a festival, right? Was it a festival?
We had a carnival.
Carnival, I knew that wasn't the right term. Okay, we had a carnival last week, and these are just some of the pictures. We do a lot of, we just had the Academy Awards. We just had that last week, and we had kids that have provided claymation. Anybody know what claymation is? Okay, I just learned it. So, and it's just amazing when you take the clay and they make it, and then they take a picture and then they move the clay, and they take a picture and they move the clay and take a picture, and then they make background sets. One 9-year-old little boy did the whole thing on the soccer cup, the gold cup. And it was so awesome. He would do the music in the background, and when he got the goal, you could see the clay guy, his hands are going up, and it's a video. And so we had best picture, we had best sound, we had best movie, we had scariest movie. We did that with the family program last Wednesday, and it was very, very successful. And our kids, and to think about one of our kids, 9 years old, having that opportunity to really learn about claymation. I didn't know anything about what claymation was, and just him explaining it to me, oh, it was like a piece of cake to him. He was thrilled. I would never get to learn this anyways. So I think that's the one thing that is so rewarding for us, is that yes, they come here with something in mind. We're trying to help them get out of a cycle that we feel is not healthy for them, but we're also trying to do it in a fun and informative and family way for our kids to want to come, our parents to want to come, and for our community to support us. So, any questions? Yes.
Is the family program required to get parents involved to make sure they're...
Good question. Good question. We have for years been a drop-in center, meaning that parents could bring their children and drop in. Well, we moved into this beautiful building 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. We had way more kids showing up than we had room or staff. And a lot of that was because we were considered a drop-in center. So one of the things that we did have to make a tough decision on was, in order to keep it free, we have to know how many kids are coming every day. You've got a certain amount, you got a budget, you got a certain number of people. How do you figure that out? Well, if every day, one day you have 110, the next day you have 180, the next day you have 65, I mean, you can't, anybody, no one can budget that way. So what we did do, we don't make the parenting family programs a requirement for the families to come, but we do have a requirement that our families have to register now, and they have to attend a parent orientation. And to be honest with you, just doing that has absolutely changed our world immensely. Our behavioral problems have changed because now our parents realize. I talked to one mom that moved here from Albuquerque, and her 3 kids go to Fry, and Fry's a Title I school, and if you just use Fry as an example, they get breakfast, they get uniforms, they get school supplies, they get lunch, we walk them over here. We have 100 kids that come from Fry, walk them over here, they get a snack, we help them with their homework, we feed them dinner, they get some program, and the mom's sitting there, and she starts crying, and she looks at me, she goes, and then we take them home at night. And the mom's sitting there, if they're within our range, and the mom's sitting there and she starts crying. She goes, oh, I know, but how much does all that cost? I said, nothing, it's free. And she's like, are you serious? Well, what am I supposed to do with them? I said, how about if you just spend time with them when they get home, because they've got everything done. So I think that's probably the neatest thing. Henry Salinas made sure that we always have free programs, and we will always do that. That is kind of just our whole mission, but making the parents responsible for coming to an orientation helps educate the parents exactly what they're getting. And when you really lay it out for them like that, it's like, do not act up, because you had better not get suspended from school, from Ican, because that's a big deal. So our behavioral, because of doing just that, is much, much better. So, but that's a great question. Any other?
I have a question. I think maybe a year or two ago, I bought one of the children's artwork that was at Chico, and you were talking about the video, the claymation. Do any of the children go on to compete in any of the local competitions or go to Disneyland programs?
Well, we don't, Disneyland's not in our immediate future, but they do compete, and I'm very happy to tell you, very proud of our kids. we win, our kids win a lot of awards. And maybe that's because we're so diligent about putting them in the categories, but we have, when you go on the tour, you'll see the art room, and the art room is like no other art room ever, even in a school. And so we have a lot, we enter the kids in city programs, in city art programs, the claymation, really there's not, I mean, they're like the science festival, stuff like that. So we do enter our kids, and a lot of our kids come in and win, and we've got a lot of, on our website, it talks about a lot of that and shows that. So we do have them do that. We've never, I mean, if you got an idea of how we get them to Disneyland, I'd love to hear it. But we really stress showing them that they are smart. Just because they come from this circumstance doesn't mean they can't be successful. And helping them through music, or helping them through art, or helping them through just doing their homework is the part that we do. So we do have a lot of contest winners. So if you go on our website, Facebook, we always put our winners on Facebook. So, any other questions?
Becky, I would like to make a comment.
Oh, okay.
My name is Dr. P. Mishra. She is my mentor for many, many years. I represent an organization called Goshala, where we have saved 5 cows. These would have gone to slaughterhouse. So by this example, we teach how to prevent cruelty to animals, especially to cows. The way I can be active partner with Ican is that I have been 7 years member of excellence in education with Mesa Community College. So I can bring that experience to you. We have arranged a lot of community festivals, all free of charge, most of them. I can bring that input to you. Then we also participate in several donor matching programs as a volunteer. So I can bring that input also to you. So these are.
You can see
some-
Dr. Misra learned a lot from me. I
Absolutely.
never let a moment go by that you're not talking about your organization. So you're very smart. I appreciate that very much, and thank you for bringing that up. He's been wonderful. I've known him for many years, and he's a great guy and has a great passion for what he does, just like we do. So, any other questions?
What was the program that you mentioned was going to go before the
The
council?
resident of Chandler.
It's called the social host ordinance. And what that means in a nutshell, and Mr. Councilman Human can probably explain it better than I can, but this is the layman's terms, okay? What that means is, if you own a home and you decide to go on vacation, and your teenagers, 18, 19 years old, decide to have a party, and they have alcohol at this party, and there's a problem, okay? Right now, there's a problem, okay? What we're hoping to do is really make it a much more serious problem, to make it much more aware in the community that you as that homeowner, just because you're not there, does not mean you're not responsible. And if you own a bunch of homes and you rent them out, you know, maybe there's something in the lease that needs to say something of that nature. But the day I walked in this job, we've been talking about this, and we've got a big supporter in the back of the room, Rick Human, and certainly Terry has helped us get it to this point, and we're very excited about the fact that it's going to go to City Council the end of the month. And it's really, we've gone out and explained it a million times. You just need to be responsible for your kids. And a lot of people say, well, if my kid's drinking at home, then I'm okay with that. Well, hello, Rick?
And really to clarify, it's not about, your kids drinking at the table when you're there.
You're right.
That's what it's intended for.
Right.
It's really intended for the parties that are going on, the party houses that are going on. So it's not just the fact that you go out of town and your kid decides to have 4 friends over, and of course then it becomes 400 friends. It's also the fact that if you host a pure party at your house, you will be responsible for it.
Yeah, thanks
And
for
there's a
the
3-tiered situation. The first tier is there's up to $250 fine or counseling kind of thing. And we changed the wording a little bit from Tempe's. Tempe is a little bit different. Because we really want to make sure that people understand it better. The second offense changes, it ramps up, and the third offense ramps up from there. So But it's really designed to get the underage drinking stopped. Big party houses are going on that not just cause damage to that house, but the damage to the neighborhood and things like that. So, yeah. So we've tweaked the ordinance a little bit in the last about a month ago. We made a few changes to it, but we think it's really sound in terms of it gives our police another tool in the toolbox. Is really what it does, and it's really not about your son having a beer with you in the backyard.
Right.
That's not what it's about.
Right.
It's about the fact that we have some large parties that go on in certain parts of town, and it's the old story. You go out of town, you tell your